I would put it on a bun. You could fit the pickles. You could fit pickles in there. And the pickles. You can fit the pickles in there. You can fit the pickles in there. Come on. Pickle chicken sandwich. Take it away, John Frickin Smith.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
How did we end up on that rabbit hole?
Where all you knew is wrong. And rules are just suggestions made up as we go along. And who knows what you'll find here. Maybe heaven or your worst fears. Whatever it may be, it's yours to keep forever.
Just in time. You've entered a rabbit hole. Please go down further. Where there's philosophy hidden within stupidity.
My nipples are sweating.
What are they doing to that chicken?
They're punching holes in it. You know what? I want to teabag Hank Azaria. He could make weird noises.
You're fucking weird.
You guys are horrible.
Bunion rings? Like, I wouldn't eat those.
What the fuck? Hey.
Even if it was Paul Bunyan themed, like, you know what I mean? Like flannel onion rings or something like that. Yeah, I had a heart attack. Fuck you.
It's a sunny, shiny day.
Yeah. Fat people need love, too. Welcome back to the rabbit hole. You were just in time, and I am one of the JNT baggers. DJ Van Nielsen, to be specific. Or Millie Van Nielsen. Finding Needles. Whichever one you want to call. Sorry, I dropped my lighter. I had to find it. So, yeah, I've been getting fucking irritated lately. For some reason, any parking lot that I'm trying to exit, usually, or enter, for some reason, there's always somebody that I don't know, it's like when they're leaving, they stop right in the middle of the fucking parking lot. I don't get it. It's like they get in their car, whatever they're forgetting to do, they forget to do it, and then they just decide, before I leave the parking lot, but after I leave the parking spot, I'm just gonna sit here for 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna rustle through my purse or fucking, I don't know what they're doing, playing with the radio, whatever the fuck it is. I always end up stuck behind them, or they're, even worse, they're in the middle of the parking lot to where they're just blocking both ways and sitting there. Get the fuck out of the way. I don't know. That shit just fucking annoys me. I don't know. The parking lot mannerisms, man. Get in, get out. Try not to hit anybody else's fucking car. Jesus Christ. But you know who doesn't annoy me like that? That's Mr. John Frickin Smith. That's right. And you heard Yours to Keep at the beginning of the show. And you can hear that song in its entirety without our shitty voices or comments on at johnfrickinsmith.com. It's from the album Songs of the Great Collapse. Highly recommend that album. I know B-Rob checked it out. Actually, yeah, I think he bought the whole album. Yeah. So yeah, get it. Get it now and enjoy it. Enjoy the soothing sounds of Mr. John Frickin Smith as he takes you down a musical journey. Yeah, I'm obviously really, really baked. Hope you enjoyed the 420 celebration. We had some fun, actually. Well, I did. I know I did. I got really, really stoned. Not only for that episode, but for the day itself. I just smelled the weed that I just got. But yeah. Obviously that episode was recorded a little bit before 420, so I could release it on 420 and have it, up in the air. So the way I actually celebrated 420, I had to work. So I got up at 4:20 or at like 4 a.m, waited 20 minutes, took a hit of weed. Then before I tell the 420 story, I got to tell how I got prepared for 420. I decided to hit my, the shop that I've been hitting up lately that Korn recommended. It's a great shop. Been going in and, I've been wanting to try these damn vape pens. I've tried them before, like just from people having them and, letting me hit them. And they're pretty good. They're usually, I've always been like, that's kind of nice. But I don't know. I don't really want to convert, really. I don't know. But, so I decided, you know what, if I can find one cheap, I'll check it out just so I can smoke discreetly at work, not going crazy or nothing like that, just a little puff. But, sorry, I had to take a second to hit it. But, so, went to the shop, 419 actually, and went and asked him about these vape pens and shit. So this, the lady, I told her I had nothing. I didn't have battery or any of that stuff. I didn't even know how any of that works. So she was like, well, we got a cheap set up here. We got a cheap battery, $7. So I said, you know what, I'll check it out. It's a Vertex battery, a 280 mAh, whatever that means. But it's got like a USB charger. And the battery itself is actually it's also a stylus. Yeah, I can I can use it on my damn phone. So that's kind of cool. But so then I was looking at the cartridges, because that's where they really get you. That's where they make the money, you know. And a lot of them were like $30 and $40 for a half gram, which I know I'm gonna burn through pretty fast, no matter what it is. So I asked her, you know, what's the cheapest full gram? She goes, oh well, we got this $135 for a full gram. All right, let me check it out. The company's called 420 Vapor. You can check them out, 420vapor.com. They don't sponsor us or anything like that, but you know, just a shout out, just because I checked them out, and because after I bought this cartridge and saw on this packaging here, I got a Headband OG, a gram of Headband OG. It's a sativa. It's the highest THC potency on the market, they say. 100% solventless cannabis oil, lab tested for quality and safety, durable leak-proof cartridge, and standard 510 thread. Which I think the 510 thread just refers to the screws. Like, you know, the attachment. But, yeah, I was checking out the packaging as I was, you know, tinkering with my little pen here and taking little puffs. And, yeah, they said they have an Instagram and shit. So I went and followed them on Instagram. They followed back, so I thought that was kind of cool. But, yeah. So, yeah, the little pen's pretty nice. So back to the 420 store. The next day I wake up, yeah, so the pen was what I was hitting at 4:20 in the morning. And I took it to work with me. Yes, fuck you. So throughout the day, you know, I'm taking little puffs, just enough to say I was fucking celebrating still. Got off early, went home and just got really, really baked and texted Korn bugging him about movie showtimes. Because if you were following, Super Troopers 2 came out on 420, and Korn and I have gotten into a weird little routine of we gotta go see certain movies, and that one popped up on the list pretty much as a way of saying, alright, let's get some comedy in before we go down the nerd path again for Infinity Wars the very next week. So we went actually, I went online and went and checked. There's 2 theaters out in this immediate area. There's one in Hemet and one in the neighboring city, town, whatever, San Jacinto. Neither of them were showing Super Troopers 2. So Korn and I had to drive about 20 minutes or so. Sounds annoying, but actually it just kind of offered us a good chance to have a nice little private session on the way. So this is what happens. What was it? We were catching the 9:30 show, and so it was like, all right, 8:30, we'll hook up. And, you know, so 8:30, I show up at Korn's house to pick him up. He jumps in the car. We head out of his mobile home park and start heading towards out of town. Which, to get out of town, at least to the theater we were going to, we had to take a highway out of town, kind of one of those one-lane highway things out of town called Gilman Springs, to the freeway, and then to Moreno Valley. So before we get on Gilman Springs, Korn opens up a little baggie, pulls out a pack of fucking cookies. They were like the animal cracker cookies. They were the cool kind too, because they were covered in frosting and sprinkles. Now the frosting was where the weed was. He pulls these out and says, all right, let's snack on these before we even hit Gilman. Because the reason why we were okay with it was because this Gilman Springs little road out of town, or this little road to the freeway, at nighttime is very dark. Very dark, and, you know, nobody really fucks with you. So, yeah, so we jump on, when we get onto that street, fucking after munching down these cookies, we devoured them. So we get on to Gilman Springs. Korn pulls out a pre-rolled joint, and I smiled a little bit. He pulls it out. We hotbox the car. By the time that joint goes out, we're already almost to the theater. As we're pulling up, I pull out my little pen, and you know, we pass it back and forth a couple times, take a couple rips, run on into the theater. Which, actually, hold on, I didn't even say what I was smoking today. Well, I told you the Headband OG thing. I also got another cartridge of Strawberry Cough, another sativa. And, was it one of the ones I got a hybrid, too. Just some regular old weed flowers here that's, berry white. But, So, back to the story, we pull up to theaters, which leads me to...
Some movies suck, and some are great, but our reviews are always late reviews with the boys from Just in Time.
All right, John Frickin Smith, thank you for that lovely ass fucking late review intro. I almost said gay for a day. But, yeah. So, Super Troopers 2. Me and Corn get in the theater. First off, we both had to pee, so we ran to the bathroom. I never liked doing that, going to the, like, when two dudes go to the bathroom together, I always feel like, I don't know, it always feels like kind of that chick thing, because, you know, women go to the bathroom together, that whole stereotype, you know, they're doing their makeup, exchanging tampons, talking shit, whatever. But I guess it's acceptable for guys if you do it when you first show up at a place. If you show up at a restaurant or you show up at a movie theater, you first show up, you can go to the bathroom. After that, if you go to the bathroom together, it's a little fruity, a little gay. But yeah, we pull up here, we get out of the bathroom. It was 9:30 on the dot, so we're like, okay, we gotta run. Let's go get into this movie. We want to catch some trailers and shit. And we walked past the snack bar. Now, the thing about this particular theater was that you walk past the snack bar that's always, you know, right at the entrance of the theater after you get your tickets and shit. Now, the theater that the theater room that Super Troopers was playing in that we got our tickets for was all the way in the back of this goddamn theater. Now, all the way in the back means that we had to walk past a good fucking 10, 12 fucking theater rooms just to get to the second snack bar. That's how fucking big this fucking place is. There's a second snack bar at the end of this long hallway, but nobody was at the second snack bar. If someone had been, Corn would have probably got something. So we get into the theater, we watch a few trailers, and then Corn finally snaps. He gets up, I gotta get something to drink, man, I'm thirsty as fuck. You want something? Yeah, I'll take a Coke, Pepsi, whatever. He goes running. As soon as the door closes behind him, the lights dim. Last trailer shows, we're on to the start of the movie. So while Corn was away, this movie started off actually pretty fucking... I'm not gonna lie. This isn't a movie about getting a high... This movie wasn't trying to get a high Rotten Tomatoes score. It wasn't even trying to compete with any kind of Seth Rogenry. This was just a movie... This was nostalgia, honestly. It's been that long since the first Super Troopers that this was just about showing some love to, you know, something that was dear to a lot of people. And... to be honest, after Joe Dirt 2, I became really, 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 really skeptical when it came to sequels. Just, I don't know, Joe Dirt 2, if you've ever seen it, you'd agree. If you've never seen it, don't watch it, don't bother. Because even though they tried to capture stuff by having a lot of people from the original cast, or the cast of the first one, none of the magic was captured. Super Troopers 2 was a different story. They captured a lot of them. They started off really nice too, with a weird way of trying to catch you up on what's been going on over the past more than a goddamn decade and shit since the first one. But without, I don't know. There was a part with Stifler and goddamn, Sean William Scott and Damon Wayans Jr. had cameos in the beginning of this one. I'm not even gonna give away all the sequences of it because honestly, that gives it away when you see all the best jokes, you know. But I'm just gonna say that the beginning was good. There was a bit of a misleader in there. It was kind of nice, funny. All the characters that they brought back were pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I was really happy to see the ones that came back. The biggest surprise to me actually was Brian Cox. For some reason, I didn't think he was gonna make a return appearance. I didn't watch many of the trailers for it either, though. And that was actually really cool to see his old ass back in the captain uniform or whatever. So that was pretty cool. Fucking Farva was still just Farva, you know. If you've seen any of the trailers, you know, pretty much the premise was something to do with them, had something to do with them having to interact with Canada over some kind of border dispute. Or not dispute, more of like some kind of weird technicality where some stones moved or something, and now something that was Canada is now US, and they had to deal with some Mounties. And that actually was funny in itself, since Will Sasso was in there. First off, everybody that tried to do the French Canadian or even regular Canadian, whatever that means, accents was goddamn atrocious. I'm not gonna lie. It was god awful. But it was I hate saying it like that, but the movie itself was still very enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. They still made sure to have little nods to the first one to let you know that they remembered the parts about the first one that we loved, and they tried to add their own new elements. They tried to, I won't say evolve the characters, but just they did try to put some weird little love story in there that I thought didn't really need to be there. But then again, on the first one, there was a love story as well. So there you go. But it wasn't like it wasn't in the style of the Hangover movies, or at least the Hangover 2, which anyone will tell you was just a copy paste change location thing. With compared to the first one, this one wasn't quite that. There wasn't the danger of them getting shut down. It was more of a revival, and the stakes were different, and the characters, the antagonists were different. I kept thinking Gallicanukis would make an appearance, but no. Actually, none of the bad cops, I don't think, made any of the appearances from the first one. So that was kind of weird, but kind of cool though as well. Overall, Corn and I actually, and Corn eventually did come back with some sodas and popcorn. And we, overall ended up kind of enjoying the movie, just enjoying the ride. There was some good laughs. Oh my God. If you're in the goddamn rabbit hole group on Facebook, the JNT rabbit hole, first off, if you're not, there's a link down there in the description. Yeah. Or there's a link on our goddamn, on our website. There's a connect with us page on there, or you can, over to the links to all our social medias. But if you're in the rabbit hole group, you know that, there's a bit of a pun war with between me and B-Rob lately, where we're sharing. Well, not just me and B-Rob, even the Sasquatch Ethan is getting into it too, where we're just throwing up goddamn pun memes left and right. Anybody who knows me knows I love a good goddamn pun. I don't bring them into the show as much, and usually when I do, I get mad at myself because I'm like, son of a bitch, I don't know why that happened. It never is. It's always on accident. But yeah, Farva had puns, dude. Farva had goddamn puns. I'll give you one. He was getting chased by a bear in the goddamn woods, and he goes into it like a porta potty or something, and the fucking barely he gets out. The bear gets distracted somehow, or I think someone threw some meat or something like that. Farva pops out of this goddamn thing, says that he barely escaped. Said something like that would have been a grisly murder, and everybody was just. Their reactions were usually probably your reaction right now, just off of hearing those two, just anger, like, fuck you, Farva. So there was like a whole new layer of reasons, like on top of all the reasons you already like hate and love Farva. And yes, those two things are simultaneous when it comes to that character. But on top of all that, now he was equipped with puns, and it was just. The lovely thing about it too was it wasn't just like him. It wasn't just in the script as like trying to make you laugh. It was him. It was the character of Farva trying to make the other characters laugh, and the anger on their faces made the puns even funnier because I love puns and I love people's reactions to them, which is usually anger. Just that you son of a bitch. I love that. I love it. So. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was a little bit with that part. It was like they were going after my heart. Like they were just like, yeah, there's no way you won't like me, a fucking punny motherfucker. So yeah, that was kind of nice. Overall, pretty decent movie. I'm not gonna even give it a score because this isn't a kind of movie that's looking for a score. This is a kind of movie that was just looking for the people that liked the first one. And like I mentioned about Joe Dirt 2, how it kind of did a very huge disservice to the first Joe Dirt. Super Troopers 2 did not. I will say they did it a good bit of justice. Honestly, you can tell that it wasn't just a throw together. They actually they seemed like they actually took some time to put a bit of a story together at least. So yeah, enjoyable movie, tons of laughs. Probably wouldn't let kids watch it, but you should already not be watching kids or letting kids watch it. So there you go.
Hey, what up, people? This is Jay.
And this is Jared.
from the Hashtag Blackout Podcast, and when we are not geeking out on our show,
or talking about people getting suspended for silly things,
we are checking out the Just in Time Podcast.
And you should too. We blacking out.
Blacking out.
Oh God. So our buddies Jared and Jay over at the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. Oh my God. Having trouble even holding that in. But our buddies over at the Hashtag Blackout Podcast recently tagged us in a post on Instagram. It was a picture of like a chicken sandwich or something like that from a fast food restaurant, in which I think it was like McDonald's or something like that, where somebody had asked for extra mayo, and they just basically like, I don't know, it looked like an ice cream sandwich almost, but it was all mayo. It looked pretty disgusting, and well, me being me working in a kitchen, I commented on there, I commented on their reply, simply done that, and so they replied that they wanted to hear about it on the show. So to you, my boys, Jared and Jay, my cousins, happy podiversary again, and yeah, this one's for you. So let's see, this was a few years ago. I had been at this establishment for maybe about a year and a half, 2 years, and somebody called in an order for some chicken wings, which is not uncommon. People like to do that. It was for a takeout order, that's why they called it in, so we'd have it boxed up. They could come 15 minutes, bada bing, bada boom. So so they call in, and they now I don't take phone calls there. I don't take any of the orders or anything like that. I cook the food. Now this place, we don't have the L screens as they're known in the restaurant industry. We don't have the little screens in front of us that's showing everything. We have a goddamn ticket printer, which I would complain more, but it's still a step up over handwritten goddamn orders, because then I would have to slap a motherfucker. But anyway, like I said, I don't take the orders or anything like that. So it's I think it was a manager actually. She takes the phone call, and she takes the order, rings it in, and when the ticket prints out, I couldn't believe my eyes. They have a button on there for wings, because we toss them in sauce, as most wing places do, and they have an extra wet button, which extra wet just means extra sauce, and she hit the button like a bunch of times. Like this ticket should have been about maybe 5-6 inches, and it ended up being about 12 inches. Yes, a foot. Because she hit extra wet a billion times, and it starts a whole new line for each extra wet. Extra wet, extra wet. Now, after all of these extra wets, I see they have the option, to type in a memo, and she types in a memo that says, seriously, guys, extra wet. Now, as I'm reading this, as I get done reading all of this, she's already at my window saying, yeah, this guy seriously said he wants it like full on, like he wants a shit ton of sauce on there. Okay. The very sinister part of me woke up in that one, like, just, okay, be careful what you wish for. Now, and I don't know about this chicken sandwich mayonnaise situation, whether if someone just said, can I have a little extra mayo, and they just decided, fuck you, I'm gonna slather. But this person was asking for it. I mean, come on. Extra, seriously. Because I can only imagine on the phone, this is when he came into, this is some old fat guy, some old fat white man. Not even old, just like 40s or something like that, you know what I mean? Probably, and he, so I'm imagining on the phone, he's just calling just like, and I want him seriously, no, extra wet. Okay, sir, yeah, extra wet, okay. No, like, I'm serious. If they're not extra wet, I'm not even taking them. Like, she actually told me he said that. I, being the sinister fuck that I am, I decided, okay, motherfucker, you want extra wet? You want them extra, seriously extra wet? Okay, you got it. So, I cook the wings. I take a box, as we're supposed to do, styrofoam box or whatever. I take a goddamn piece of wax paper. It's not even wax paper. It's like somewhere in between parchment and wax paper with with a side of easy tear when any moisture touches it. I put that on the bottom, as is required. And I take my little bowl that we put our wings in. You know, I take my bowl. I put a bunch of... Now, the way we have it is this was only 10 wings, this guy, right? So for every 10 wings, there's supposed to be 1 scoop of sauce. Just 1 ladle of sauce. So because this guy hit extra wet, I always have told people that I train that every time you see extra, put an extra ladling. I went off of that. I put a scoop for every time it said extra, and then 2 scoops for the seriously extra thing. This little bowl was not very big. It was, you know, a little bit bigger than your average cereal bowl. And I fucking tell you, like, not even big enough to want to mix cake batter in. My God. I filled this motherfucking bowl up damn near with sauce. Put the wings in there, watched them sink to the bottom, put another scoop on top. Tossed it around, though there was no need because they were already, you know, it was soup at that point. It was soup with chicken wings in it. Cold soup. So I put that in there. And then I, you know, take that bowl over to that box, turned it upside down, and watched these wings just swim in this sea of... The worst part, too, was this was a Parmesan garlic sauce, which meant it smelled like fucking feet. Put it in the box. Order up. This guy, oh my God, the look on his face. He didn't even say anything, actually. He opened the box, looked at it. He kind of looked like he rolled his eyes a little bit and then just paid for him and left. And then called the next day and complained about him that there was too much sauce. You son of a bitch. Don't fuck with it. Don't fuck with it. Sometimes, believe it or not, there's a recipe in place for a reason, and sometimes the proportions of that recipe call for it because it's the right goddamn proportion. If you want extra, just say extra 1 time. I'd have put 1 extra scoop, he'd have probably been pretty fucking happy. But no, he had to get an attitude. No, I want him seriously extra wet. I don't know why it got so weird there, but yeah. So yeah, that was that story, and with the since that story started on too much mayo, I guess it's only appropriate that we we move on to another way of too much mayo possibly being involved. All right, John Frickin Smith, thank you again for, I forgot the line last week too. Usually I thank you, John Frickin Smith, for that lovely ass Gay for a Day intro. And I totally forgot to say last week that it gets me in the mood for dude. Gay for a Day. I know, it's cheesy as fuck. Cheesy as fuck. So this week's Gay for a Day should come at no surprise to the two. It's a double Gay for a Day. Yes. I miss the guys. It's weird when it's just my Gay for a Day, but this one goes to 2, so I guess they're making a me sandwich. Gay for a Day. A black one and a white one. It would be the 2 guys that made goddamn cameos at the beginning of Super Troopers 2. Yeah, that's right, I announced it earlier, and I'm saying it again. Damon Wayans Jr. Gay for a Day. And Sean William Scott. Gay for a Day. Who I still say, Sean William Scott, if he'd have just been a tad bit younger, would have been a great Star-Lord. Yeah, I know, your dick just got hard too. Yeah. So, we're at that best part. The end. I think that's your favorite part of these episodes, is the end, when you can stop hearing my goddamn voice and get back to whatever the fuck you were doing. But just before I go, be sure to follow us on social medias, at JNT Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Join the JNT Rabbit Hole Facebook group. Get in on the pun war. It's puntastic. And honestly, I want to see more weed posts too. Somebody post some weed stuff. Damn it. Whatever, you can post whatever the fuck you want. Post some battle suggestions too. Battle suggestions, late review suggestions, although we're always shaky on those, but yeah. Throw them up, join the group, get involved in the conversation, have some fun, and yeah, that'll be about it. Catch you next week. I don't know why I made that noise. That was fucking stupid.